Good morning, America. Welcome to My Mornings with Vanessa. I'm Vanessa Broussard. Guess who was a no-show at a congressional hearing on Epstein files? The Clintons. As we told you right here yesterday, Bill and Hillary were subpoenaed to testify before the House Oversight Committee, but neither one showed up. And now they could be held in contempt of Congress.
Unanimously by the committee in a bipartisan manner, we will move next week in the House Oversight Committee markup to hold former President Clinton in contempt of Congress.
Yeah, good
so
job.
With that, be happy to answer any questions real quick.
Mr. Chairman.
Anybody on the committee?
Will we roll out bringing Donald Trump in for an interview
Well,
in this investigation?
President Trump has answered thousands of questions about Jeffrey Epstein. In fact, I would say today, you all ask him questions every day. He answers questions every day about Epstein.
Will you rule out?
Well, you can't bring in a current president of the United States, and you all know that. So, but President Trump has answered thousands of questions about Epstein. I bet today, at some point, some of you all will ask President Trump questions about Epstein. He answers those questions. To my knowledge, former President Clinton has never answered questions about Epstein, and we just had questions because, again, I think anyone would admit they spent a lot of time together while Bill Clinton was president and post-presidency.
We don't know where the former president is. We just know he's somewhere behind a computer because he posted this, a letter to Comer. He starts by slamming the Trump administration, then tells the chairman at the top of page 2 that he let go others for not testifying in the Epstein case. Clinton then adds the subpoenas are legally invalid. His letter claims Republicans have a, quote, cruel agenda and that they are, quote, misleading Americans. The former president then took a jab at the auto pen scandal and says it'll take more than a wrecking ball to destroy what America has built for the last 250 years. Here's more from Representative Scott Perry.
Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro were arrested for failing to show up for their congressional subpoenas.
Hey folks, I'm here for the deposition of President Bill Clinton regarding Jeffrey Epstein. Back in last July of 25, I had a resolution to subpoena all the former attorneys general that had something to do with Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton because of his long-standing relationship, multiple visits by Jeffrey Epstein to the Clinton White House, and then a couple dozen trips on Jeffrey Epstein's plane by President Bill Clinton. So we had questions for him. He did not appear, so he is in contempt of Congress. What will happen now is that we will have a hearing in this committee and a vote on holding him in contempt. That will then go to the House floor for another vote, to which it will be transferred to the Department of Justice, assuming that there is an affirmative vote for prosecution. Understand that on my motion to subpoena Bill Clinton and the attorneys general, it was unanimous. Both Democrats and Republicans voted for it, so this is not a partisan thing. We just have questions. So that's the process, and that's what's supposed to happen next. So we're doing, and by the way, for those who are going to say, well, you didn't show up for a subpoena, I don't show up to subpoenas from committees that are fake and don't exist and have predetermined outcomes. So that answers that question for you as well. So more to follow. God bless you.
Our Allison Steinberg caught up with Democrat Representative Pete Aguilar in the halls of Congress for his take.
Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro were arrested for failing to show up for their congressional subpoenas related to January 6th. Do you think the same should happen for Bill and Hillary Clinton now that they are refusing to show up for their deposition?
That's a question that the House Oversight Committee will have to carry forward. Obviously, when it came to Peter Navarro, those individuals refused to come before us or to offer testimony. My understanding is that the Clintons have offered different opportunities to give testimony to the Oversight Committee. As they are working, they are talking to the committee. That's very different than the two individuals who defied Congress and went to jail for it.
Okay, thank you. And then as far as ICE, it's sounding like Democrats are going to rally to close the government down again if funding isn't stripped for them.
You must have been at a different press conference. I didn't say that. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So what happens now? Again, the House Oversight Committee will vote on whether to hold the Clintons in contempt of Congress. If approved, it'll then go to Attorney General Pam Bondi to enforce. Also in the hot seat, former special counsel Jack Smith. He will testify publicly next week in front of the House Judiciary Committee. That date, January 22nd. This comes after Smith held a closed-door deposition last month in Washington regarding his investigations into President Trump after the 2020 election. Smith's attorney says they welcome the public probe next week. We'll have coverage right here on LINDELLTV. Happening today, a hearing in the Tina Peters case. The former Mesa County, Colorado clerk remains jailed. A Gold Star mother who questioned the machines in the 2020 election. Tina's attorney, Peter Tickton, joining us this morning. Mr. Tickton, thanks so much for being here. A big day today. What will take place at today's hearing?
Well, it's oral argument in the appeal for Tina Peters. And it's kind of interesting because the state is denying that Donald Trump's pardon affects the state convictions at all. So we're not sure exactly how the court's going to handle it. We have a half an hour on each side to argue the appeal, and we don't know if they're going to give us additional time to argue the issues of the pardon as well, but we're certainly prepared for it.
Right. And so, you know, going into that's been the biggest hurdle, I guess, because President Trump issued this federal pardon. It is a state case. And so it's a question of whether they'll look at that in regards to releasing Tina Peters.
Well, they have to make the decision, first of all, because they don't have jurisdiction if the pardon's good. If the pardon, in their eyes, is not good, then they have jurisdiction. So whether they hear the appeal or not is going to depend on whether or not they first determine whether they think the pardon's good. And we don't really know which way they're going to go. We kind of don't. That's not really where we want to go with this. But this gives us our launching position. From here, we go right to the Supreme Court of the United States. And
wow.
That's what we're really looking forward to doing. Yes. I'll tell you though, we have a lot of confidence. We have great confidence in this appeal. The trial was a travesty. If there's ever been a case where there's a kangaroo court, that's what we actually had to deal with in the first place. So these appellate court judges are hopefully going to be fair to us. If they are, there's no way that we lose.
Right. And the Colorado, I want to bring this up. The Colorado governor is kind of changing his tune in all of this. Very surprising. He said that Tina's sentence is too harsh and that he'll look at possible clemency. That's welcome news. Big surprise there. What's your reaction to the governor saying her sentence is too harsh?
Well, it's obviously too harsh. I mean, even if she was guilty of everything they said she was guilty of, what's the big deal? Nobody got hurt. She wasn't the one changing the elections. What really was going on? I'm sorry. I'm hearing other voices. What really was going on was that you had Jenna Griswold, who was wiping the computers clear. She was wiping the hard drives of the Dominion machines clear. Why would she do that if there wasn't something to hide? She was violating federal law, no question about it.
Yeah. And then, you know, we know, like you just mentioned, the trial was too harsh. And so we finally get some movement from the left there in Colorado and these Democrat, public offices, the people there that hold public offices. I want to bring up a letter from Congressman Abe Hamadeh out of Arizona. He wrote a letter to Governor Polis this week asking him to put partisan politics aside and to grant Tina clemency. He just released this letter late last night to the public, and I wanted to show you this. This is coming from a congressman in Arizona writing to the governor of Colorado. So Tina is getting support from all over the country, Mr. Tickton.
You know, there's no way to describe or to disguise, cruelty. And when you have a 70-year-old lady who is at the very worst, no matter which side you're looking at it from, if you're on the left and you think she committed these crimes, the fact is that she's in with murderers, she's in with she's in maximum security, mixed in with the worst of possible people, having to endure the horrors of going through being in prison. And the fact that he's waking up and realizing this is harsh. Well, come on, of course it's harsh, it's horrible. And it's about time that he came to his senses in this regard.
So again, for today, what are we expecting in the hearing? What can we look forward to this afternoon?
Okay, but I just want to say one other thing about that, about Polis. It's really thanks to Donald Trump. We all know what's going on here. And Donald Trump is not a man you say no to. Thank God for Donald Trump and for what he's doing for Tina Peters. Thank you so much, President Trump. What are we going to expect? John Case, who was one of the trial lawyers, and who has, an in-depth knowledge of everything that occurred. He's going to be arguing on the issues of the appeal. I'm going to be arguing on the issues, if we're required to, on the issues of the president's pardon. So we'll see how that all transpires. But I'll tell you, I couldn't wish for a better person. John Case is just, he's going to do a great job. We've worked hard on this to get everything ready. And he's equipped.
Well, we hope for a good, positive update this afternoon from the hearing. We'll stay in touch with you and your staff. Mr. Tickton, good luck to you this afternoon. Thank you so much for being here and updating us this morning.
Thank you. It's really my pleasure. I really enjoyed being there with you. Thank you.
Well, the Republican Study Committee has filed framework for a new reconciliation bill, the goal to restore the American dream. There you have it right there laid out. In it, making housing more affordable. Right now, the average homeowner is over 40 years old. They want to bring down that age. Deliver health care freedom to make it more affordable. Cut energy bills and prices at the pump. And cut wasteful spending. Here's more from Representative Kat Cammack on affordable housing while announcing the bill.
Now fast forward 10 years and I'm serving in the House of Representatives. Someone who can go from homeless to House of Representatives, that is a version of an American dream. But that ability to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and succeed it's disappearing. And that's why I'm so excited about today's announcement that RSC's Reconciliation 2.0 blueprint will make sure that we remain a nation of equal opportunity, not equal outcome. Because the 4 years under Biden were all about equal outcome. As part of this initiative, and I have to apologize to my team, they did a fabulous job putting together remarks. And much like our president, they shudder when I start deviating from the script. But as part of this announcement today, I am so proud that we are including the NEST Act, the Next Gen Equity Savings Tool. Like so many millennials and Gen Zs, I know what it's like to struggle to buy your first home. And if you talk to anyone under the age of 40, they will tell you it is virtually impossible due to the enormous barrier of entry. It is impossible to buy their first home. Interest rates are too high, inventory is too low. You can't get in to even tour a home before it's snapped up by someone else, probably a little bit older, or a corporation that's buying in cash. And so today, we are including the NEST Act, which would allow for millennials or first-time home buyers, age does not apply, first-time home buyers would be allowed to save for their down payment tax-free. This is in line with an America First agenda. It is about empowering people, not government. And I couldn't be more thankful that today it is part of this proposal that will help solidify the cornerstone of the American dream, home ownership.
Again, another part of that bill is continuing to bring down the cost of fuel. We bring in President of the Ohio Oil Gas Association and former Ohio Senate Majority Leader Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy, good morning.
Good morning, Sunshine. How are you, Vanessa?
I am good. Good to see you wide awake this morning. Gas prices coming down. Good news for all Americans. We want to show a graphic of what the prices are right now. The average price, $2.82 a gallon compared to $3.07 a year ago. Jimmy, tell us what's behind this big drop.
Yeah, there's a lot going on that has been going on at the national level. Part of it goes back. It's almost 1980s 2.0 because if you know your history in the mid 1980s, there was a deal in the early 80s that the United States did with Saudi Arabia, some security guarantees. In 1985, the Saudis opened the spigots, flooded the oil markets, and that was a huge impact on the petrostates that relied on oil income, namely at that time the Soviet Union. So what you're saying here this past year, President Trump went to the Middle East. You may remember sometime late spring, early summer, and made some deals with not only the Saudis but some of the other OPEC nations over there. Investment in the United States, and also, if you notice, since that time, OPEC has increased their production. He's also encouraged the domestic production of oil as well as natural gas through exportation, liquefied natural gas, and so all that together has brought prices down of oil over the past year. Since this time last year, depending on the day, it varies sometimes by a few percentage points. But here recently, the price of oil was probably down 15% compared to a year ago.
Yeah, his energy agenda, the president's driving gas prices towards 4-year lows. The Trump administration touting that success. President Trump's commitment to unleashing American energy. The production is bringing relief at the pump. So that's good news for the drivers all across the country. Following President Trump's declaration of an energy emergency, the U.S., Jimmy, has reached its fastest rate of new oil and gas drilling permits in years. They're saying exceeding the Biden administration by 44%.
Yeah, it is on the way up, and natural gas prices for years have been extremely low in the United States. Part of that is because when you drill for oil, typically there's also associated natural gas production that comes with that. That has helped to flood the market along with all of the shale production in both oil and gas. So yes, it's a huge impact on consumers, to your earlier point, because less money you spend on, at the gasoline pump, or natural gas for heating your home, or natural gas for making electricity, or natural gas for any number of chemical industry uses like fertilizer. All that together is less money that you're spending on that, and more money that you have to spend on other things in your household.
And we can all use that. Let's talk about Venezuela. A lot of talk there once President Trump went in, captured Maduro. A lot of talk about Venezuelan oil. The American people have lots of questions about that. What's your take?
Yeah, and so Venezuela is not happening in a vacuum. I mean, a lot of times you would think from the coverage that it is, but Venezuela is heavily reliant on oil revenues. They've completely mismanaged their oil production for several decades, and they produce probably less than a third of the oil that they produced 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Barely even, they're lucky to get 1 million barrels a day nowadays. So what I think the part of the agenda is here is to work with the administration, the existing administration. The hope is for stability, bring in American investment, possibly release the sanctions, and boost the Venezuelan oil economy. That's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to take a massive investment. And I think the U.S. oil majors that are pursuing that need some degree of security guarantees that they're not going to be investing hundreds of millions, actually billions of dollars into Venezuela, and then find out a few years from now, a future administration tries to take it away from them. So there's a lot of risk involved in that, but Venezuelan oil is not the same as most of the U.S. shale oil. Theirs is mostly heavy oil. Refineries down in the Gulf Coast where you live typically need some degree of heavy oil. The United States just doesn't produce a lot. We get most of it from Canada and Mexico. Venezuela would be another source of that heavy oil, which, all things considered, would be a good thing for the United States to have an additional source. It would be a good thing for the Venezuelan economy to be able to redevelop their number one export commodity. So Whether a person agrees with all of that, is not my call. I just suggest I think that is part of a much bigger plan to keep energy prices low. Also, the deal that I think was done with the Middle East and encouraging domestic production, to your point, a record, keeping oil prices so low most of this past year allows some flexibility to go after the states that are heavily oil producers like Venezuela, like Iran, like Russia. Because normally, whenever that happens, the price of oil, the markets react, and the price of oil skyrockets, and it hurts the U.S. economy. So I think what was going on was they were trying to kind of get that under control first to allow for some flexibility to go after Venezuela. And there are other issues involved in Venezuela besides that, but certainly that's would be crazy to say it's not at least part of it.
Yeah, and President Trump has been asked a lot, Jimmy, about Venezuelan oil lately in the last couple of weeks. Let's take a listen to one of the questions he was asked just recently.
Would the administration offer a backstop to these oil companies for like financial guarantees, some sort of backstop, if the country did destabilize again?
That's a very interesting question. Using the word backstop, I haven't heard that word in a long time. That was at the Wharton School of Finance I last heard. That's a good term. We ought to use it more often. I hope I don't have to give a backstop. Look, these are very smart people, the smartest people that are not only in oil and business. These are the biggest companies in the world sitting around this table. They know the risks. I mean, there are risks. We're going to help them out. We're going to make it real easy. They're going to be there for a long time. We're going to be there together for a long, long time. And they're going to be taking the oil, and they're going to be bringing oil prices down. They're going to make a lot of money. They're going to get their money back. They're going to be safe. The people of Venezuela are going to be big beneficiaries, and the United States of America is going to be a big beneficiary for what we've done.
Jimmy, that's when he hosted all of the oil and gas execs from across the country. What's your take on what he just mentioned?
Well, it's funny. I had not seen that clip, but it's spot on. I mean, any type of business, whether it's oil, real estate, anything else, you go and pour a bunch of your life savings into it. And in the case of the oil majors, I mean, we're talking significant dollars here. You want some degree of security and safety because there's other places they could invest their money. I'm sure Venezuela is one of those. But I would point out to a lot of the critics of this, remember the part that the president said at the end, where Venezuela is also going to make a lot of money off of this. I mean, that is, I think a part of this is lost on folks, that their economy, their citizens who've suffered for decades are actually going to be the ones that benefit too. This is not just a one-way street for the United States. No one has suffered more under the Chavistas than what the Venezuelan people have. So hopefully, for their sake, there is stability, and hopefully their economic conditions improve. And that's before we even get to places like Iran or other places that are also mismanaged by their government. So. I think that's part of the plan. There's some risks involved, like any plan, but hopefully this one works out to the benefit of everybody.
Well, we have a couple of minutes left. I have to ask you, I'm going to throw a curveball at you right now. The governor's race there in Ohio, how's it looking for Vivek Ramaswamy?
So Vivek Ramaswamy actually has been working it hard. He's been all over the state in the past 9 or 10 months. His fundraising is superb. He just announced a couple weeks early before the filing deadline that he raised just shy of another 10 million on top of the 10 million that he had raised in the first probably 3 or 4 months of last year. To put that in context, I think his opponent at the end of last June, the likely Democratic nominee, is Dr. Amy Acton. She was the health director under Governor DeWine several years ago until she resigned. I think she had about $800,000 on hand. Not to say that money is everything in elections, but I liken it to going to buy your Christmas presents for the family when you have no money. It makes it awfully difficult. So However, to give her due, she has been working very hard. She has been getting all across the state at the grassroots level. So I think, and I think the folks from the Ramaswamy campaign would really admit the biggest concern we have is complacency here in Ohio, because I think on the Republican side, there's only been one Republican governor here in the last 3 decades or so. Or I'm sorry, one Democratic governor in the last 3 decades or so. So it's not to say that it couldn't happen again, but I think Vivek is looking to be in a pretty good spot, all things considered.
Good to hear. Jimmy, always a pleasure to see you. Thanks so much for coming by this morning, and tell everyone in Ohio I said hello.
I'll do that. Absolutely.
Thank you. Well, the Supreme Court is hearing oral arguments on men and women's sports at the high school level. It's part of Title IX. The Supreme Court is hearing 2 cases right now. Our Kara Castronova is outside the White House with a woman who went viral after complaining of men in women's restrooms.
Saw you on social media going off at the staff at Gold's Gym for allowing men into the women's locker room, and that went viral everywhere. I mean, it went so viral, it was crazy. I reshared it at least 3 times because I'm on the same page with you as that. All right, let's start off with talking about that moment when you were in the locker room. You ran into a trans woman, I'm assuming, and that just bothered you. Tell me why.
I ran into a man in the locker room who said he was a trans woman, but I don't believe that trans women exist. I think there are just men and women. So basically, I was violated in the locker room on 4 different occasions by 3 different men in a 2-week span. And this led me to just become curious about the law, curious about everything, and also upset. I was traumatized, and when I realized that there was no law to protect us, I really started to try to reach out. I sent emails to Gold's CEO. I tried to get girls in the gym together. And then the video that you guys were introduced to me by, somebody else took it and posted it. But what happened that day was I ran into the man in the locker room. He called me a B word, and I was afraid for my life. So I ran out into the gym and I told the men went in there and they came to my aid. And then the staff decided to escort him off the premises. But they also decided to call police on me and have me escorted out of the gym. And they terminated my membership for me just objecting to being naked in front of a man.
So have you ever thought of suing Gold's Gym?
Yeah, but honestly, when this happened to me, I was just in so much trauma and a state of shock that really all I wanted to do was what I'm doing now, which is fighting about it and like really becoming a part of the change that I want to see. But yes, that is something that I do plan to, start to look at lawyers and see if I'm ready to do that. But most importantly to me is just making changes, making my voice heard, and bringing awareness to the world about the situation, because a lot of people did not know this was happening.
Right. Well, I gotta say, I've never experienced what you did, because a lot of the time I spent in the gym was years ago when I was a champion boxer. And the female locker room really was a safe space. Like, people would just drop their clothes. You could walk around naked, like just talk, not have to worry about a man standing around. Like, you had a long workout, you just got punched in the head 100 times. You don't want to have to be worrying about a man staring you down. So this is something that I can't even imagine. Now I work out, generally I go jogging outside, so I don't really use locker rooms. So I can't imagine how that must feel. Could you just describe sort of the feeling of, I don't know, must be some sort of intrusion, or?
It's a violation. It's a violation of privacy. I mean, I turn around and I'm shocked. So I'm like, oh, snap, sir. And I get, you can't tell me nothing, B word, I'm a woman. And I'm
Did you see private parts?
No, I was the one who was naked. He was dressed in a basketball shorts and a t-shirt. So there were 3 different men, and everyone seems to think it's just this one, but there were 3 different men. A black one who kind of, sort of, I guess, seemed like he went a little harder at trying, and then 2 white men who just were men in the bathroom, and they didn't have any regard for my naked body, any regard for my shock, or me as a woman. I'm a lady. So you're calling me a B word, and I'm like, what is this? You're disrespecting me? I wanted to put him over my knee. I felt disrespected. I felt traumatized. And someone asked me what I had lost since this happened to me. And when I was a kid, I was in a foster home, and I went through a lot, and I knew I was a child, and I said to myself, I'm going to grow up one day, and I'm going to give myself the life I want. I'm not going to be poor, and I'm not going to have, I just knew that as an adult, I could control that. And as an adult, I did just that. I gave myself a wonderful life free of trauma, and he stole that from me, because as an adult, I've been traumatized by the situation. But instead of going back and crying about it, I just decided to take that and come in and protect other women. I can't imagine a younger girl dealing with that. I just really can't. I don't mean to get emotional, but you know, when I'm having to relive this thing for myself and think about how it really had an effect on me, I just don't want anyone to deal with that. No woman should have to deal with that, especially little girls. You guys have no idea how important what we are trying to stop is. You think about children, think about women, and honestly, I'm a very strong woman, and this was a very traumatic experience, and we have to have it stopped. It cannot go on.
Yeah, I can't imagine being naked and running into a man in a locker room. I simply can't. So
3 different times, and just like being called the word, you know, and just the disrespect, the disregard, the disrespect, the aggression, the anger. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm just a lady. I turned around. I don't know. And I can only imagine a woman who's in her 60s that doesn't pay attention to the internet and the trends that go on. And also, you know, I'm a lesbian. I haven't been naked in front of a man in 3 decades.
Right.
So, you know, it's hard. And if I think about when I was 12, thank God we didn't have this gender affirming care. But if I think about when I was a 12-year-old girl, confused in my body, you know, I'm having feelings towards women that I don't understand. Is someone coming to me and saying that that I'm probably in the wrong body and I could change? I would have went for that. And I can tell you right now, as a 42, soon to be 43-year-old woman, that I enjoy being a woman, and I would not want to wake up and not see the body that God gave me. And that is a decision you cannot make when you are young. There are no trans kids. There are kids being abused by adults, and that is it.
that's powerful. I gotta say, and I see the emotion and how much this means to you. So thank you for sharing it with us.
And when it comes to the Supreme Court cases, a ruling on Title IX, and if states can allow men to play in women's sports, that should come down by this summer. Start your day in prayer. When we come back, Pastor Dave, with his glory, he'll be joining us to discuss God and country. We'll be right back.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest Made in America sale ever. We just put huge discounts on products made right here in the USA. MyPillow bed pillows, body pillows, go anywhere pillows, bolster pillows, all made with my patented adjustable fill. Mattresses, mattress toppers, mattress pads, adjustable bed frames, mattress foundations, and so much more. All made right here in the USA. And now we're expanding our USA products beyond just quality sleep. Like the cross I wear every day, now available in both men's and women's. We even have USA-made socks. And are you tired of being tired? Try our new health beverage, Rev 7. Or how about my coffee, the greatest coffee ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get deep discounts on all these products. Plus, for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Are you taking advantage of President Trump's golden age? Or what if I told you can just sit back and earn money as President Trump continues to repair our economy and make America energy independent again? I'm talking about oil royalty checks. With the help of the Oxford Club, thousands of Americans have unlocked this secret hack that has put money back in hard-working American pockets. Financial expert and LINDELLTV supporter Mark Lichtenfield has showed me how. It's a way to profit from America's energy production that's been working quietly for decades, even when oil companies were struggling. So go to LindellOilBoom.com to find out how this all works and why it's relevant right now. That's LindellOilBoom.com. Whether it's being a weekend warrior or spending time with your family, feeling your best is the key to doing the things you love. That's why I'm excited to tell you about Nirvanta. It's a natural solution designed to help you stay active and live well naturally. Nirvanta is a topical blend of all natural essential oils like frankincense, myrrh, and a proprietary gold standard plant stock extract. It's perfect for your hands, feet, knees, back, or anywhere else that needs a little extra care. Use Nirvanta proactively as part of your daily maintenance routine, and you're guaranteed you're going to feel the difference. Simply massage Nirvanta in for at least 60 seconds, 2 to 3 times a day to get the best results. And if you're not completely satisfied, you get your money back. No questions asked. There's simply no risk and no reason not to try Nervanta today. Right now, you get 15% off with code Lindell exclusively at NirvantaHealth.com. So stop reaching out for that medicine cabinet. Get Nervanta instead and experience the difference. Go to NirvantaHealth.com. Use code Lindell to get 15% off today. Nervanta Health. Live well naturally.
We like to sprinkle in some good positive news every morning here on Lindell TV. We want to start our day on a positive note today. We have Pastor David Scarlett with His Glory joining us this morning. Pastor Dave, hello, good morning. How are you? Thinking we're having some muting problems there. If you can unmute your microphone, maybe. Not sure if we can hear you. Yeah, we're going to work on that because we want to hear from Pastor Dave about God and country. And we're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back with Pastor Dave. Stay with us.
With everybody talking about making America healthy again, I thought today'd be a great day to talk to all my fellow patriots about the importance of making your homes healthy again. Well, we have proudly partnered with airwaterhealing.com and their revolutionary whole home air purification system. The V3 from Air Water Healing does 3,000 square feet of purification. It eliminates dust, mold, viruses, and odors. But here's the part I love. They require no filters to ever be changed and virtually no maintenance. Whether you suffer from asthma, allergies, seasonal bronchitis, or just want to protect your family from the flu or even greater threats, don't wait to get your V3 from airwaterhealing.com today. Use code Lindell for 20% off in savings and free shipping. That's promo code Lindell at airwaterhealing.com. Let's face it, you can't trust Big Pharma. They've already tried to block ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and raise prices on everything from antibiotics to your daily meds. Well, there's good news. All Family Pharmacy is standing up for medical freedom and helping people get the treatments they actually want. My family and I use them all the time. They made it easy and affordable without the runaround. While other pharmacies are jacking up prices, they've actually dropped theirs. Ivermectin now starts at just $2 a capsule. Use my promo code Lindell10, you get an extra 10% off of that. You need ivermectin, antibiotics, or methylene blue, you name it, they've got it. They make it simple. You fill out a short online form, a licensed doctor reviews it, and your meds ship fast right to your front door. If you want to be prepared and have your medications on hand, this is your new pharmacy. Visit allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Promo code Lindell10 saves you even more. That's allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Promo code Lindell10.
All right, Pastor Dave, I think we have your mic all figured out. Good to see you here with us this morning. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Vanessa, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
So tell us, there's a lot going on, negativity in the world, and we like to spread positivity as well. And there's a lot, Pastor Dave, to be thankful for. We need to count our blessings. I have to remind myself that every day too, because, as a news anchor, we see so much doom and gloom every single day, and we think, oh gosh, what is this world coming to, right? But then I go home and I see my beautiful baby boy. I still have my mother with me, and a job that I love and friends that are great. And we have to take a step back and think, you know what? We really are blessed. And I think that if people can see that every single day instead of the negativity, spreading smiles every day, this world would be a much better place.
Absolutely. That's the key we need to do is seek our blessings and seek the Lord every day. That's why it's important to start your day and get in the Word, speak to Him all through the day because He is what lifts us up. If we just look at the world events, Satan wants to get us distracted, off target. and down. And Christ does not want us to be down. We need to be filled with his purpose and his glory. And everything in life is a purpose. That's Romans 8:28.
You're absolutely right. And I remind myself that every day too. People tell me, don't get stressed out, quit worrying. God already has a plan. It's going to happen just as it's supposed to. And there's no need to worry. There's no need to stress. Just put it in God's hands.
That's absolutely right. If you worry, you're putting it on yourself. And he went to the cross for us, and we need to put it on him. And when you have that true love of Christ and that true shalom, no matter what the world throws at you, you have that peace that only can come with Christ. That's when people are really walking the walk, they have this glow. In the middle of chaos, they'll have this peace about them, and people are like, what do they have that I want? And it's Jesus.
Absolutely. And we have to keep that in mind every single day. I want to go back and talk about, some of the wrong that's in our world. We're seeing a lot of protests and burning down of, cars and vehicles and American flags, destruction of property in places like Minneapolis. But there is a positive march taking place next week in Washington, D.C., the pro-life movement, the March for Life, the people who want to bring babies into this world, no abortions, cut back on abortions, end abortions. So when you see, like we're watching here, Pastor, the tens of thousands of people who will converge next week in Washington, D.C., it's these moments where I'm reminded that there are so many good people in this world.
There are more good than bad, and the evil likes to make it sound like they're the majority. But as you said, it's about the light of Christ, and seeing a peaceful presentations like you're going to see next week is so important. The darkness of the world, remember, darkness is just the absence of light, and we all become light in Christ. There's no room for the dark to stay, and that's what we need to do, be united. It's time for the church to go on the offense instead of sitting on the fence.
Yes, and we've seen a lot of this, despite how awful, sad, heartbreaking the assassination of Charlie Kirk was. We're seeing a revival with our youth as well. Are you seeing that a lot from where you are? Kids starting to get involved. They've always believed, but now they want to do more. They want to help.
Yeah, absolutely. 3-4 years ago, you would think the youth was far away from Christ. They were. And this is a generation that you can't go through the traditions. They realize what truth is, and truth is starting to come out, and they realize that. And that's what we're seeing, a revival in the youth. It's unprecedented. This is the Joel 2 movement just in the beginning. And this is not just happening in the United States of America. This is happening all over the world. Iran, one of the fastest underground churches in the world, happening in China. The more they oppress them in Iran and China, the more the church grows. And it's being driven by the youth. They're seeing signs and wonders, miracles, just exactly the way the Bible said through the prophet Joel.
Yes, and it's so wonderful to see. Pastor, I was just at Turning Point USA's America Fest last month, and I've been to many Turning Point events, many of their conferences. I spoke at a vigil for Charlie Kirk in Ohio a couple of months ago, and to see these college kids, high school kids who are there to make a positive impact. They could be getting into anything. They could be getting into alcohol in college or drugs or hanging out with the wrong crowds, but they're not. There are so many students, kids who are on the right path. And when you go to these events and you see the tens of thousands of people there and younger adults there, you're reminded, like you just mentioned, several years ago, we didn't have this momentum going with the younger generation. And I really have hope in them. I stood in line. I have to admit, when I go to these events, I go straight through the media door, so I don't have to stand in line. That's what the media entrances are for. But Pastor, on the last day of Turning Point's AmFest, I stood with the kids because I wanted to talk to the kids and get to know them. So I stood in the public line and walked in with them. And these are amazing children. I was able to get a lot of their contact information from the different schools across the country that they're associated with. And they all have a bright future ahead. And they're happy. They love the Lord. They want to do more. And I hope this message and me telling this story, resonates with so many people out there watching, because the younger generation has a bright future.
That's exactly right. And the prodigals are returning home. That's the parents and the grandparents just praying and not stopping in their prayers. Good parents and grandparents, you're watching this today, do not stop praying. We have the Joel 2 movement in front of us, and the prodigals are coming home to see the greatest revival in the history of the world. And we get to be a part of it.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that because we need all the prayers. In fact, I had a friend this morning, pastor, asked me, how can I pray for you today? I said, pray for my little boy. I always want to be Mama Bear and put him first and have all prayers directed at him before myself. So if we can keep our children in our prayers every single day, they're going to be A-OK. Let's talk about his glory. I was on your website last night, and I want to tell the people there's so much on your site that it's just heartwarming. You can ask for prayer requests. You can get involved. You're looking for volunteers. So tell us a little bit about His Glory and what you do.
We're very unique. We are not only a ministry that reaches the world, we reach 25 million people in every country of the world. We have a full network on hisglory.me, 24/7 shows and programs, Bible studies, messages, but also you might hear from America's generals, Israeli generals, all over the world. We go into the 7 mountains, and then we have a weekly show each day called The War Report that I do personally, and we partner with LINDELLTV. You guys are our White House correspondents there, and we just show Jesus in the world. No matter what's going on in the world, he's there in all 7 mountains. We also have hisglory.tv, where we're doing movies and documentaries for patriot and Christian content.
I love that. I was looking at that last night, and those are some movies I want to watch. So I'm going to make sure I get to those very soon. You can also donate as well. Tell people how they can donate to your cause.
Yeah, you can see it right there on your screen. Become a kingdom builder. This is our billion soul harvest. We have many people that want to invest in the kingdom, and every dollar can go towards bringing in a soul. And that is our number one goal at His Glory. It's not programming. It's not programs. It is bringing in the lost for Jesus Christ. And that is all over the world. Even though we're centered here in the United States, that message goes to literally every country of the world to bring in every lost soul. We will get a billion in Jesus' name.
Amen to that. Last but not least, I love how you can send a prayer request on your website. Tell people how they can do that.
Yeah, just go to our website, put in a prayer request, whatever your need is. We have 144 prayer warriors as of today, and each one of them pray over it, and you'll get a personal response back. I think we're the only ministry in the United States that literally prays over every prayer request and responds to each request.
I love that. It's so special. Pastor Dave, so good to see you here on the morning show with us. Thanks for stopping by. Come back and see us soon, and thanks for all you do.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. Opening bell just moments ago over on Wall Street, looking at how the stock market opened the day in the red. I never like to see that this early in the morning. The Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ are all trending downward at this time as investors digest mixed earnings. They await key economic data like wholesale inflation and retail sales. Financial stocks, that is, they're under pressure. So we'll keep an eye on Wall Street today. Hopefully things will flip to the green by closing bell. Looking at your news to go now as you start your day, we're continuing to watch Iran and any developments there. Protests continue, and President Trump may have a plan in place to save the people from the current regime.
Iran says that it will retaliate in the instance of U.S. strikes against U.S. assets in the Middle East. What do you say to U.S. service members about why it is worth the risk to intervene in Iran?
Yeah, Iran said that the last time I blew them up with the nuclear capability, which they don't have any longer. So Iran said that the last time. They better behave.
They better behave. Over 2,500 people have now died in the Iran protests. So sad to report. President Trump again promising help is on the way. Also in your news to go, federal payments to sanctuary cities and sanctuary states is coming to an end.
We're giving 90-day notices to places like California, Scott. Right away, we're going to send out that notice. Who would bill the federal government as people poured into the state? to send those people back because no country can afford to do it. No country can afford to take in millions of people, pay for their education, their health care, their hospitals. You just can't do it. And we all have a heart. You can't do it. But many of those people are murderers. They're people released from jails, prisons, mental institutions, insane asylums. They're people that are drug dealers. They're addicts. Additionally, starting February 1st, we're not making any payments to sanctuary cities or states having sanctuary cities because they do everything possible to protect criminals at the expense of American citizens, and it breeds fraud and crime and all of the other problems that come. So we're not making any payment to anybody that supports sanctuary cities.
It's over. Go woke, go broke. Again, that starts February 1st. As for the president today, he has one event on the schedule, a signing ceremony at 2 p.m. in the Oval Office. We'll have coverage of that here on Lindell TV. And those are your stories we're following on this Wednesday. You can follow all of this and more on LINDELLTV.com. Again, that's LINDELLTV.com. You can get 24-hour programming there, as well as great articles, all of your news of the day. And if you're wanting to do a little shopping, always go to mypillow.com. Mike Lindell always has great sales going on there. Don't miss out. The winter super sale is going on now. Mike Lindell is really big and keen on made in the USA products. That's all he'll put on his website. You just saw a slide of mystore.com. Mystore.com. Also, all made in the USA. Before you are approved to go on mystore.com, all of the products there approved by Mike Lindell, they have to be made in the USA. Mike Lindell, a true American patriot. Check out mystore.com as well. USA products from U.S. entrepreneurs. Hey, and while you're there, make sure you put in the promo code Vanessa for extra savings. That promo code is good for mypillow.com and also mystore.com. And we leave you today in prayer, as we always do. Our Bible verse of the day comes from the book of John. Jesus said, "For God did not send his Son into the world to judge the world, but that the world might be saved through him." So do not judge. The world will be saved by Jesus Christ. And that'll do it for us here this morning. For breaking news 24/7, make sure you're following me on social media. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Have a good day, America.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice, speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature shows you exactly who's live and what's streaming in real time. Check out the show's feed, a non-stop lineup including Lindell TV News 24/7, shows and on-demand programming all in one place. Connect with your favorite host and never miss a show. Explore the featured page for quick access to Lindell TV's top shows. Follow your favorites and watch their newest content flow right into your feed. And when they go live on Vocal, you can join the live chat and be part of the action. Ask questions, share your thoughts, even help shape future shows. Stay informed on issues around securing our elections by following your state's Cause of America account. Join a group and connect on a deeper level, from faith and freedom to the future of our nation. Go to vocal.com or download the app today and be a part of the mission to save our country.
Huge breaking news. Mike Lindell Media Corporation, which includes Lindell TV, has gone public with the stock trading symbol MLMC.
Kara Cashinova from Lindell TV.
This is Allison Steinberg here with Lindell TV.
We are currently on LINDELLTV.com.
The platform, which has rapidly grown to attract 7.2 million monthly viewers and 150 million annual impressions. Vocal, its subsidiary social media network, supports over 70,000 accounts, and MLMC is poised for even greater success.
This is going to be big, everybody, and I'm really looking forward to it. We all know what MyPillow has done for quality sleep, and we know what quality sleep does for our health. Well, now we're taking things a step further, introducing our brand new health and wellness line, formulated by a doctor with over 20 years of experience who only uses the highest industry standards. I've known and worked with him for over 13 years, and they're made right here in my home state of Minnesota. We have everything from ashwagandha and apple cider gummies, a liquid joint formula, body and beauty detox kits, liquid complex for heart and brain support, a cold buster all-in-one immune formula, Vibe, the best superfood ever, fish oil omega-3 pills, pro and prebiotics gut health formulas, and so much more. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to get deep discounts on all these products. Plus, for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. If you want to drop extra pounds, boost energy levels, and reduce swelling in your legs and feet, then this message is for you. Pure Health Research is on a mission to make America healthy again. And two of their best-selling health supplements are leading the way. First is Liver Health Formula. Over 100 million Americans have a sluggish liver that's riddled with fatty deposits. This can kill your metabolism, pile on the pounds, and make you feel tired. Liver Health Formula takes care of that. It supports thriving liver health with special nutrients like artichoke extract and milk thistle. This is one of the easiest ways to slim down and revitalize your energy levels. Next is lymph system support. If you struggle with fluid buildup or swelling in your legs, ankles, and feet, this is for you. The natural ingredients in lymph system support help gently flush away extra fluid and toxins out of your body. And right now, for a limited time, you get 35% off Liver Health Formula and Lymph System Support, along with 50 plus other health supplements that Pure Health Research has to offer. So head over to purehealthresearch.com and use promo code Lindell at checkout. That's purehealthresearch.com, promo code Lindell to save 35% on your order today.
America's founders warned that without knowledge and virtue, no nation can remain free. Yet through the steady infiltration of Marxist ideology, we have been stripped of both, and we are no longer a moral and educated people. To save America, we must spark nothing less than a national renaissance. That's why you need Freedom Talk Magazine, the journal of truth and virtue. We cultivate enlightened thinking and principled living, offering unique insights into the issues and remarkable people defining our world. Sign up today for your free subscription to Freedom Talk Magazine and join the new American Renaissance.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest Made in America sale ever. We just put huge discounts on products made right here in the USA. MyPillow bed pillows, body pillows, go anywhere pillows, bolster pillows, all made with my patented adjustable fill. Mattresses, mattress toppers, mattress pads, adjustable bed frames, mattress foundations, and so much more. All made right here in the USA. And now we're expanding our USA products beyond just quality sleep. Like the cross I wear every day, now available in both men's and women's. We even have USA-made socks. And are you tired of being tired? Try our new health beverage, Rev 7. Or how about my coffee, the greatest coffee ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get deep discounts on all these products. Plus, for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Swollen limbs, joint pain, inflammation, skin aging, and cognitive decline. These are just a few of the awful side effects that you can experience due to poor blood circulation. And popping ibuprofen is not a solution to the pain. It's only temporary relief, and it's only masking the true problem, which is inflammation. Researchers are saying to add this Antarctic super nutrient to your diet. I'm talking about omega-3 fatty acids, but not just any form of omegas. These particular omega-3 fatty acids are sourced from wild-caught krill. Has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, as well as reduce inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. For a limited time, you can grab Native Path Antarctic Krill Oil for up to 66% off plus free shipping. Just go to getkrill.com/Lindell right now to get your special offer.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice. Speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature shows you exactly who's live and what's streaming in real time. Check out the show's feed, a non-stop lineup including LINDELLTV News 24/7, shows and on-demand programming all in one place. Connect with your favorite host and never miss a show. Explore the featured page for quick access to LINDELLTV's top shows. Follow your favorites and